Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Sweetie here, Sweetie baby, Sweetie mama, Sweetie special, Sweetie light, Sweetie everything nice. Today we are talking about taking responsibility for our actions. Okay, so in my previous video I talked about reproductive coercion, intimate partner violence, how reproductive coercion, that is forcing a woman to remain pregnant, makes her financially dependent on her husband and kind of is a form of financial violence as well, or financial abuse, because when you're dependent on a man, you're not able to earn your own, you're not able to do things you want to do, and of course it affects every area of your life basically, right? So I decided to follow up this video because most of my points were saying, oh, it's a form of abuse, it's a form of a way for men to trap women, to keep them, you know, dormant, keep them submissive, keep them in a specific financial bracket so that they are continuously dependent on them and they have no prospects, right? But in this video I want to kind of counter that a little bit and say that although we don't victim blame over here, we don't victim blame for any form of abuse, because of course you didn't do anything, you know, to deserve being abused, but we have to take responsibility for our actions. And I think it's high time women sit up and take responsibility for their actions. If you're interested in what I have to say in this video, please keep on watching. First of all, tell me that I'm beautiful, but keep on watching, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and yes, let's get into it. Okay, all right guys, we're talking about responsibility, and the first thing I want to say is that a lot of women hide behind the fact that they claim they love their husbands. Oh, I love you, so I'm not going to leave you. I love you, so I'm going to accept everything. I love you so that, you know, whenever I'm receiving abuse, or I'm emotionally abused, or I'm financially abused, whatever the case may be, I take it in and keep it there just because I love you. I feel like love, in code, because I don't think it's love, is a crutch for a lot of women. And most of the time, I don't even think they love their partners. I think they just want to stay married. A lot of women love the idea of being Mrs. Somebody. A lot of women love the idea of leaving their husbands, their parents' house, their father's house, and becoming somebody's wife. A lot of women love the air that society gives them, the edge, okay, the shoulder pad that society gives them when they claim that they are married, okay, and so they refuse to hear or react whenever they are being abused. They refuse to respond. They refuse to take action when they see the initial signs, when they see the red flags. The idea of marriage, the idea of love, the idea of, oh, I love him, I want to stay married, supersedes any form of safety, any form of precaution, any form of, you know, taking responsibility. Case in point, we're talking about in that video a lady who says that she kept having children back to back to back. Her twins became, she found out later on, the husband is actually AS while he thought he was AA. So her twins, 5 years old now, became sickle cell patients. From there, she had 4 more children, so she had 5 kids, or 5, no, she had 3 more pregnancies, so 4 kids, and then she was currently pregnant, something like that. Basically, she was about to have 6 children, okay, and she kept claiming, oh, he was raping her, which I'm not denying, or you know, she was in financial constraints, she was having mental health issues and all of that. My question is, after the first time, the second time, why didn't you do anything to stop it? I know that we claim, you know, we say that reproductive, you know, contraceptives and things like that are not always accessible, but to be honest, on the flip side of things, I know that they are quite accessible. People have condoms everywhere. People have forms of, you know, local even remedies, neem oil and things like that, forms of preventing pregnancies. You sit there and keep getting pregnant. I even feel like getting pregnant is in the hand of the woman, okay? You sit there and keep getting pregnant, and now the children are bearing the responsibility of the actions, the repercussions of your actions, because you did not take any action, because you did not take any precaution. Now you are sad, you're having mental issues, and you even claim that you are beating your children mercilessly. So you're becoming abusive to your children as well because you did not take responsibility for your actions, okay? Also scenarios like this where a woman comes to us at the feeder center, or comes to complain, generally speaking, and says, oh, she's been abused, her husband beats her husband has done this and done that. And when you take a record, when you try to take a record of the complaints, you realize that this is not today's matter. It is a history of abuse. He has beaten her. It started with shouting, it started with mother-in-law It started with some form of isolation, you know, saying, oh, her friends are this, isolated her from her friends, they isolated her from her family, and then progressed to isolate her from every other person. And then from isolating her, making her feel like she has no one, he starts to manipulate her, then starts to beat her, starts to become obsessive and things like that. And then we're ending up here when it has gotten to this point. Meanwhile, some actions could have been taken, okay, some precautions could have been taken. Sometimes you see a man and how he calls you 20 times. I've been in this situation. Missed call of 20 missed calls. 20 missed calls is not normal. Okay, it's not normal. Unless there's a crazy emergency. 20 missed calls is not normal. 30 missed calls is not normal. Where you go out on a date with your friend, you say, oh, you're going for girls' night, and then he suddenly appears there. It is not normal. Okay, or when you know, he claims that, okay, the only way to to correct you is to beat you, is to harass you, is to molest you. It is not normal, my brothers and sisters. It is not normal, especially my sisters, okay? But you go in and say, oh, he's so controlling, I love it because he's possessive, he doesn't let anybody get near me, it's just me and my husband, I don't want to keep friends, I don't want friends around me and my relationship, blah 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 blah. You are seeing a walking red flag, and you are going head first into it. And then when things happen, we are saying he's abused and all of that. Yes, he abused you, and yes, you did not deserve it. But I think that we should, like I said in the beginning, start to take responsibility for our actions, women. Okay, when you get married or when you're dating somebody, ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Notice the things that you cannot compromise on. Don't, because you want to be Mrs. Somebody or because you want to claim I love my husband, you know, go into something head on, knowing that in the future there's a problem waiting for you ahead. You know that you went to school for something, you studied architecture, you studied engineering. Even if you want to become a caterer or something like that, you have dreams and your goals. And then you get with this guy and says, oh, my wife will not work, or my wife will stay at home. And because you are like desperate, you want to get married, you want to join the Mrs. gang, you want to join the people that are posting on Instagram, my baby, my king, a king and more. What do they call them? My lord. All those things people are saying on Instagram. You wanna possess this title, you just ignore it, okay? And then you get to home and realize that you don't have one kobo to yourself. You get married and you don't realize that even things as common as nails, as common as getting your hair done, you must ask this man for money because you are not working, because he has not allowed you to work. But he told you who he is. He literally said, this is what I want. And you're like, okay, when I get married now, we can talk about it. When we get married, we can change it. When we get married, we can discuss. If you don't discuss before you get married, anything you see in the marriage, you take it like that. And when you are inside the marriage, it's more difficult to leave than when you are just dating. Okay, it's more difficult to leave when you know there's no serious commitment. Because yes, we say, oh, leave the marriage, yes, we say escape, yes, we say separate, but divorce, the solution of marriage is not easy. It's not something that to be taken lightly. There are psychological effects, there are emotional effects, there are financial effects. Do you know how much it is to pay a lawyer? When people send me email like this, I want to divorce my husband, I want to do like this, do you know how much? I don't even charge people consultation fee, which I have to start doing now. Because consultation alone is 200k, 300k to listen to me, for me to pick my brain. Then you now want to pay for litigation that takes 2 years. You're paying upwards of ₦1 million to a lawyer. That is it. In case you didn't know, in case you didn't know how much it costs to hire a lawyer, it's upwards of ₦1 million for this. So it's easier to say, okay, I can't deal with this. This is not part of my, this is a deal breaker. Anybody that is unfaithful to me, anybody that cannot tolerate my excesses, anybody that when we are having arguments is breaking plates and breaking things, anybody that is tracking my phone, anybody that is keeping records of everybody that calls me, that shows up to private events with my friends, I can't deal. You take responsibility and say, okay, this is a choice I want to make and I cannot deal. Don't just go head in because you want to be Mrs. Somebody, because you want to be titled, because you claim that you are in love, because you are running away from your parents, because you're running away from, what you faced growing up and all of that stuff, and you run into the hands of somebody that's going to take advantage of you. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's stop, because I feel like as much as we talk about violence against women, intimate partner violence, domestic violence, and all these legal issues that women face, as much as we talk about them, there's so much, that we are fighting. There's human trafficking, there's, rape, there's abuse, that I feel like if we can prevent it from happening, we stand a better chance at reducing the rates of women that are dying, okay, the rates of femicide, the rates of intimate partner violence, because we make a choice in the beginning. Okay, it's more difficult after the fact. Even when you come and report, that when you come and report sorry, do you know that when you come and report domestic violence and you report intimate partner violence or some kind of abuse or whatever, sometimes the reporting alone, it takes a toll on you. But apart from that, you even become a target again, because some of these men get angry, they get frustrated. Oh, you reported me, oh this and that. They start stalking you, they start tracking you. And sometimes that's the thing that pushes them over the edge, that, oh, you had the mind to go and report, you had the mind to speak up. Okay, let's see what you can do. Okay, you see that a man does not love you, his family members do not love you, they don't care about you, they don't respect you, they don't see you as anybody, yet you walk into that marriage and immediately something happens, the man packs your children and leaves. We see that consistently. He uses the children that you have been giving birth to as a tool to manipulate you and to cause you to, or force you to do something, or he kidnaps your children. And then that's another whole ball game, because now you start going to the school and the school tells you, oh, it's their father, they allowed him to pick them and blah blah blah. A lot of things happen, a lot of complications happen. So why don't we take responsibility for our choices and say, okay, I like this man, I'm probably sexually attracted to this man, but he will not make a good husband, he will not make a good father. Let me just tie step and go. Why don't we look into ourselves and find satisfaction in the singleness, in the, I know it's not easy. Sometimes I imagine myself that I'm married. I imagine if I was not married, I'm sure there'll be pressure on me. I'm 33 and I'm thinking of, you know, sorry, I'm sure there will be pressure on me, 33-year-old, not married, single and all of that. I get it too. I get it that it's not easy to be single, especially when you desire marriage and family. But the truth, in my professional and personal capacity, let me tell you, the truth is that it's better to be single, married, and focus on your career and your ministry and your job and whatever it is you're doing, as opposed to being in a loveless marriage or a marriage that is completely abusive, a marriage that does nothing for you. It completely changes the trajectory of your destiny. Let me tell you, it changes the trajectory of your life. You might start out as somebody that wants to be in tech and has a goal and has dreams of being somebody and somebody somewhere, but you see, the singular act of who you choose to partner with, who you choose to, you know, spend your life together with, who you choose to be the father of your children, can change everything about you, can destroy every prospect you have. Take it from me, take it to the bank. Okay, quote me and take me to the bank. There's nothing exciting about a cheating husband. There's nothing exciting or enduring about a philandering husband. Okay, we see celebrities, Davido, I'm going to call them out, Davido, Two-Face, what's his face, the Branch and co, and all of those people that philander around, and their women are still staying in the marriage. They know what they are facing. Okay, they know what they are facing. But you don't even have the money. Say you don't even have the money that they have to say, okay, they are giving their wife to calm them down. When this one goes to this Dubai to go and do one is kneeling down on the ground begging the another woman to sleep with him, and all this kind of embarrassment, and you do not have the money. Your husband does not have the money to even say, okay, I will buy you Balenciaga, I will buy you Bottega, I will do this, I will do that, I will fly around the world. You in your house, in your domot, in your domot, you're accepting this thing. These people that are going through all these issues, these celebrities that we are copying and we are looking up to, I remember the hypocritical nature of the comments when it came to Chioma. I'm like, all of a sudden, philandering is not a bad thing because this guy has money. All of a sudden, it's okay, you know, to stay in a marriage like this because this man has money. Money does not solve money does not solve abuse. It doesn't cure abuse. It might make you forget, it might temporarily distract you from what you're going through, but it does not cure it. And when you become somebody in the spotlight, you have to take responsibility for the fact that you choose to stay in such a marriage because people are looking up to you. Yes, of course, you can say nobody, you didn't ask to be anybody's role model, you didn't ask to be anybody's, you know, whatever, you know, you didn't ask to be put on a pedestal. But people are watching you, people are seeing you, and little girls, young women are taking after you. That's why till tomorrow, I respect Toke Makiwa. I respect a lot of celebrities and women who live, you know, Ronke Raji, all these kind of people. I respect people who live comfortable lives, you know, live these environments, live this toxicity, because yes, it's tempting to stay in and post pictures and become an influencer. Some people become influencers because they married somebody rich. Go on TikTok and see. You have nothing to offer. You're not giving us any value. Only day in my life of a wife of a billionaire, day in my life of the life of a sugar daddy, day in my life of the TikTok will surprise you, because people's careers are based on who they spend their time with, who they are married to, who they are in a relationship. So I respect women who take accountability and say, okay, hold up, this thing is not working for me. I choose myself, and I choose the women that are coming after me. Rihanna could have stayed in that relationship. She even went back at a point, but somehow I respect her for choosing herself, and respect her for showing that you don't have to stay in a relationship where you are being abused. So basically, I don't want this video to be too long. All I was just trying to say, all I'm trying to say is that although we don't victim blame, it is not your fault. Nothing you ever do will ever excuse the actions of an abuser. That is the fact. Nothing you will ever do. You do not deserve to be abused. Even if you walk head in, you know, you do not deserve to be abused. You do not deserve to suffer. You are not supposed to be victim blame. Rape, abuse, sexual violence, domestic violence, it is never your fault. However, there are some ways that we can prevent some of these things before you fall into Stockholm syndrome, before you get into a situation where you don't want to leave, a situation where you are scared or you're terrified, before you get into some nefarious situations. It's better to spot the red flags, take accountability, don't fall head in, don't because of pressure, cultural differences to pepper them. Okay, the worst excuse is I want to pepper them, I want people to stay unmarried. You know, all these young girls that want to rub it in their friends' faces that okay, they have left their level. Oh, I'm no more a single girl, I'm not a married woman. Okay, so you can't do this, you can't do that. It's not an excuse. It's not valid. Okay, it's not valid to see red flag and walk in. To me, it's not valid. So what do you think about this? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I feel that a lot of the time we excuse a lot of bad behavior by women. We allow women to go, like, we just excuse them, and maybe that's why some women are not learning. Okay, we are not really holding women accountable for some of the choices they are making, some of the decisions they are making, especially when it starts to affect children, affects people outside of your own, choices. Because most of the time the choices does not affect it. Most of the time the woman makes the choice, but the consequences on the children or the people after her. Okay, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next one. Let me know what topics you want me to discuss in the comment section. I think there's a particular video that is coming that is talking about some things that happened last month, all the deaths, all the women that were killed by their partners and killed by their boyfriends and all of that. Okay, I haven't talked about it because it really bothered me. It hurt me to my core. So I'm working on that video, so you'll probably see it very soon. If there are any kind of legal topics, take down videos you want me to discuss, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe and share. Mwah. Mwah. Bye.